It's pretty remarkable, man, to watch the Kamala Harris scam get perpetuated on the American left, basically by the American left. And really, because when you think about it, they're scamming themselves. The same people that believed that Kamala Harris was less successful and less popular than Joe Biden, even as they wished and hoped and prayed for literally any candidate other than Joe Biden. They've now convinced themselves that Kamala Harris is the second coming. She's going to save the world, save democracy, save voting rights. And it's crazy, man. If you spend any time at all in any of the left-wing echo chambers on the internet, I don't suggest that you do. It's pretty bad. But if you do, I'm telling you, man, those people are all in on Kamala. They have convinced themselves somehow that she's smart and successful. They actually believe that at some point in her long and horrible career, that she actually improved someone's life along the way somewhere. But obviously these people have no clue who this woman is. And I don't care what the polls say right now, because I just can't see there's just no possible way that this can last. I mean, eventually these people are going to wonder who she is and what she's done. And eventually they're all going to find out.
Attorney General in California, and she was the senator from California. I really don't know much of what she did.
I'm not sure I know enough about her accomplishments to answer that question.
The way that she carries herself.
She was Attorney General in her state. She moved up to becoming, the Vice President of the United States. So she has definitely made her stamp in history of being the first African American female vice president, and soon to be first vice president as a woman of color.
Okay. This country wants substance and solutions, not sugary identity politics.
It's wild stuff to watch, man. And it's hard to really understand how any of this is even possible, man. Have people become so deluded and so dependent on whatever is said on TV that nothing real is actually important? I mean, are we giving people too much credit when we assume that they don't want sugary identity politics? I mean, when we assume that people actually want real solutions in the form of well thought out and explained policies, I mean, are we giving them too much credit? Do they actually want this, or do they just want to continue to get gaslit?
The issue is, can she articulate an argument? How is she going to talk about the fact that she was in the building when the border went to chaos, when the economy went down the gutter, when we have a world in disarray, when the combination of Biden and Harris...
The economy is not in the gutter. Brian, I know...
It feels that way to most Americans.
I think the reality is that, as I've said, you've had America... Look, Democrats spent my entire adult life talking about the fact that the stock market was not a measure of the economy, that we should not be giving the American people a macroeconomics lesson. And now all of a sudden they don't seem to care about the fact that the inflation is outpacing the wages. So yes, I get it. That
inflation is not outpacing.
Inflation has outpaced the wages.
Inflation's a problem?
I didn't say it's not a problem. I think it's not outpacing wages. Let's just use the fact.
Inflation has outpaced wages literally the entirety of this
administration. I don't know, man. We might actually just now live in a world where facts are not important. And the media really is not even media. It's just a bunch of actors. I mean, the only thing that seems important to a lot of people are feelings and equity and all these, pie in the sky stuff, because, those are the facts. Inflation has outpaced wages for basically the entirety of the Biden-Harris experiment. And, these people can say the economy is strong all they want, but people don't actually feel it, especially the people that were promised an economy that works for them. These people promised an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. I still have absolutely no clue what that really means, but I do know for a fact that that is not the economy that we have, but I don't know, man, we live in a pretty interesting time. People are they're willing to trick themselves, willing to just side against every best interest they have, every self-interest they have, because they're basically programmed after 10 years of anti-Trump insanity.
It all bothers me, the fragility of the human mind. So everybody forever was like, Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She's the least popular vice president of all time. And then in a moment a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one.
So,
ta-da!
Okay,
I feel like we are in this very bizarre time where people are giving in to the bullshit in a way that I never suspected people would before. And this is one, they just want no Trump, no matter what, and they're willing to gaslight themselves.
It's amazing, man. I don't even know what to say. I mean, he never saw it coming. I never saw it coming. Honestly, I don't think even the Democrats and the corporate media themselves saw any of this coming, right? I mean, they have damaged people's brains so badly that they're able to run a coup on a Democrat candidate, install a candidate less popular than Hillary Clinton ever was, post just the laziest identity politics, literally in the history of all identity politics, just post that junk all over social media and hide the candidate in a bunker away from even the friendliest media. And people somehow still have not woken up to this stuff, man. But the good news is, I mean, don't lose faith, man. The good news is there is no way that they could keep such a lazy strategy going for 100 days. There's just no possible way. I mean, Kamala, she sounds like she's about to announce Josh Shapiro as her vice presidential candidate, which is going to drive, the anti-Israel Democrat base completely nuts. And I think it's probably going to make for a very 1968-like convention in Chicago. So I don't know, maybe that will actually wake some people up. And believe it or not, Chicago's waking up. Chicago is waking people up. And Chicago, they've become basically the picture-perfect example of you get what you vote for.
Country and get a stipend, link, a free room and board, free child care, and some of them are getting Social Security. And when my ancestors were released from slavery, they got the clothes on their back. But yet they were told to be happy. So why am I and everyone in this country footing the bill for people who are non-Americans, who don't vote, who don't fight in any of our wars, who've never paid a tax? And we're told that if we say anything, we're xenophobic. Tell me why.
60% unemployment rate for 18 to 24, and you got money for migrants?
From August of last year to December of this year, they will spend $252 million on the migrants. They're playing chess, and you all are playing checkers. You are damning our youth, our next generation, to poverty by you all doing these political speeches.
That's absolutely right, man, and completely and totally spot on. People need to be reminded, man, that they got to be reminded that the people that they're upset with for the last 3.5 years are literally the very, very same people that they're trying to rebrand and force down their throats again. And here's the thing, man. If the machine can take someone as flawed and as fraudulent as Kamala Harris and shove them down your throat, then there's absolutely nothing they can't do. And even more importantly than that, there's nothing that they will not do. But that's just my take, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.